It's Pro Wrestling Summit. You already know what it is. Happy Saturday afternoon to all you wrestling fans. This is the Pro Wrestling Summit Clips portion. We do this every single weekend to go along with our Pro Wrestling 300 show reviews. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, and also follow us on Instagram at good_villain_media. Danny would certainly appreciate it, and I know I would too. But let's get into this, okay? So I wanted to fucking talk about Bray Wyatt, or the lack thereof Bray Wyatt. That's probably a better fucking guesstimation, okay? This guy has fucking he's turned my stomach so many fucking times during his return, because the excitement level of him coming back was so high, and the White Rabbit, and the playing of the thing in the arena, like, it's all fucking really, really well done. And then he comes back, and his first match is a fucking really fucking overly done, gimmicky type of fucking match, and it's god awful. It's terrible. It helped neither guy. It made both guys look stupid. Uncle Howdy looked like an idiot. Like, no one came out the better for that. And it got me thinking, like, well, like, are people right? Are people right about Bray Wyatt, that nobody comes out better when they work with Bray Wyatt? I don't necessarily know that that's the case. I think that the problem is he's so creative, right? And I think that he's so smart, and he understands, like, the psychology of wrestling, like, in a Jake Roberts type of way. Where Jake Roberts, like, understood the psychology of wrestling better than almost any human being alive. Like, he really got it. I think Roddy Piper, to a certain extent, got it. I mean, obviously, all the top guys had it, or they wouldn't have been top guys. They got the psychology of wrestling, and I think that Bray gets that psychology of wrestling, but he gets too crazy. It just gets so crazy. And, now we're at a point where we're leading up to WrestleMania, and nobody knows if this guy is, like, what the deal is with him. He hasn't really confronted Bobby Lashley. There's been, like, videos playing during Bobby Lashley promos and, like, funny shit. Not really, like, any spooky shit or forwarding of the story or, like, anything like that. And it's really fucking quite unfortunate, because there's a lot to it. And at a certain point, it becomes... you're not slow playing it anymore. It becomes like, okay, we understand, like, this is, gonna take a minute, but there needs to be fucking progression of the story here to understand a little bit and to become invested again in the character. I mean, after that Mountain Dew match, like, how the fuck do you come back from that? Like, there is no... you have to do something so incredible that it just blows the doors off of everything. And I honestly and truly mean that. You have to do something so incredible now with this Bray Wyatt deal to get people back invested into what's going on, because people are like defeated with it. The people who claim that Bray doesn't make anybody look good and no one comes out looking better when they work with Bray, those people look like they're right now. And that's a fucking huge problem, because that's your ultimate fan base that you're trying to reach. So if they are clowning on it and making it fucking seem like a joke, then how's the lay fan supposed to get into it and not look at it like a fucking joke? If your hardcore, die-hard fans are making a mockery of what the fuck is going on, then where do you go from there? How do you possibly fucking resurrect that character to make it believable again? Him as a monster and like the devil and like all this stuff. As soon as the setup for that pitch black match and like it all went to neon, it was over for me as far as I'm concerned. Like, that was the last remaining hope. Like, this guy needs to do something in the ring that's gonna like be like, okay, like this whole buildup was worth it. And it was a total fucking letdown. It was a total letdown. And I know it wasn't just for me. Even the fans who were into the story and like really into Bray Wyatt and were like, that's kind of shit. That's kind of the shit. And you can't help but feel that way. You're like you almost feel cheated as a fan because you invested so much time and like, you felt a part of the story, and then it's just a total fucking letdown into going into the biggest fucking show of the year. It's been a total fucking disaster as far as I'm concerned. I mean, not as bad as some of the other returns, but I mean, it hasn't been fucking good. You can't even rate the return on a marginal level at this point because it hasn't even been marginal. He's had one fucking match. The intrigue, definitely there. The intrigue is definitely there. Do I want to fucking see the guy succeed? I really do. Because I think that there's a lot there. And I think that he has a lot to offer. And I don't know what it comes down to. I don't know if it comes down to him or what he's able to do or what somebody is in his ear. Like, hey, you need to do this. Like, we're trying to promote this, so I want you to do this. Like, I don't know who's making the final decisions on what the fuck is going on with this guy, but somebody needs to get a hold of the fucking... get a hold of the reins, man, because it's going off course. And it's terrible because it could draw so much fucking money. It could draw so much money, but you have to, I mean, for lack of a better term, let them in. You have to, because the further that you keep people away right now, the worse that it's going to be. You need to give people something to latch onto with him, or they're going to completely fucking turn against it. And then it's a loss. It's complete. You've just wasted it. I don't know if he can redeem himself from this pitch black match. I honestly do not. I don't know if Bray Wyatt can survive that. LA Knight certainly has fucking survived it and has, not because of that match, but because of his ability to cut promos and like his wildness, and like he's a throwback. He cuts like an 80s, early 90s style promo, but it's updated. He just updated the wording of it, but like the pacing and everything, it's an old school promo. And he's got the pacing down. He knows exactly when to shut his mouth and let the crowd do the work for him. But is Bray like that? His promos you couldn't even hear. You couldn't hear what the guy was saying. His music's in the background. This fucking serial killer music in the background. And like, I want to know what the guy's saying because that's clearly an integral part to the fucking story. But you don't do that. It's little shit like that that has fucked this whole thing up. And again, I don't know who it's due to, but somebody needs to fucking figure it out, man. Before this completely loses everything that it has had, you gotta figure it out. Make sure that you stay locked in. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you soon. Peace.